If you're curious to find out what these four knuckleheads think about Cybersecurity Month and all the other stuff we have going on, then join us here in a second to find out. The main thing is, you got to understand the architecture.
Give me the ball. What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the game on Pax8 Live. We have plenty of shenanigans, and that's what we talk about on the game on Pax8 Live, so this should be a good episode. Before we get started, I don't have a ton of events to pitch to you, except for a bunch of boot camps that you should probably be attending. One of them being Modern Workplace Boot Camp at the Pax8 shiny new global headquarters right here in Denver. That should be a great event. And the security boot camp, the one and only security boot camp that we are building many shenanigans for, is in November in Atlanta, pax8.com/events. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and let's not waste any time and get right into the show.
We're talking about Cybersecurity Month, and just curious what your thoughts are on as we go into it. Is it a great thing, or is it actually taken away from the problem and actually becoming more of a commercialized event like Valentine's Day? Is that a bad one to pick?
Everything becomes a commercialized event like Valentine's Day. I don't know how much measurable change Cybersecurity Month drives, but I do appreciate that we have more ears in the month of October. So at least we can scream about it a little more. I don't know.
Maybe somebody listens.
You know what? I am not opposed to that vote. What's your thoughts on it, Slagle or Tom?
Well,
October is the screaming month.
It is.
It's Spooktober.
Okay,
Absolutely.
fair enough. Touche.
Well, we also have this great gift going into it that CISA has gifted us, removing funding from CIS as like a great kickoff to Cybersecurity this month. I think the signal gets lost in the noise, right?
Okay.
Like, I think that this is a month that all the vendors trot out their best marketing material, most of which is terrible, some of which is okay. But I think by the end of the month, everyone's sick of hearing about it, right? And so I think we should just do cybersecurity awareness always.
Okay. The cybersecurity awareness always, kind of like a lockout, tagout, or people's arms get torn off in this particular rotating machine. Like, that's important, I guess, for the people touching machinery.
People's arms are getting torn off in cybersecurity right now. So.
They are. No, it's quite it's appropriate.
Yeah.
This is the Industrial Revolution defined, right? Like, in my mind, I think. No, Tom, you go first. I need to. So we got to vote for good. We got to vote for signal lost in noise.
I'm here for the memes, so it's an excuse to make more cybersecurity specific memes. So I'm gonna have to say yes, because that way I can focus on just one topic on memes instead of all of them.
But if your topic, but you can cross both bridges here and just make memes making fun of all the rest of the marketing that drives and makes everyone angry.
Yeah,
because you guys remind me I have one to post.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Touche. In my mind, like, I think I'm with you a little bit on this, in the sense that there's this 1 month a year that we all talk about cybersecurity, and it's a lot like people going to conferences. How many people go to conferences, come back, and do absolutely nothing they took from that conference? Like, absolutely nothing. It was great. They felt good during the moment, but they didn't go home and go exercise like they were supposed to. They didn't go home and do those things. So I'm afraid there's a bit of that in this. That said, I have to take Dom's point on this of, like, I genuinely believe that it's great to have a time that we're talking about it, that we are giving it some of the thought, but your initial opening comment notwithstanding.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is that it's too long and it's too much, right? If you had a cybersecurity awareness week, right, but by the end of it, no one's listening anyway, right? It's all just lost in the noise. Right. And like, while I appreciate Dom's sentiment that, like, this 1 month a year, people maybe pay more attention, I would argue they pay more attention for maybe about a week. And then by the end of that week, they're tuning out the fact that 2/3 of their LinkedIn feed is cybersecurity awareness month posts.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, especially in
Probably
that
not
arena,
wrong.
right? Like in the specific, like, to Dom's point, like on LinkedIn, we're going to see about 1,000 or so posts. So let's take it maybe on a different spin. Like, what do you think works in Cybersecurity Month? Like, what have you seen be effective? Like, Huntress launched their CTF today.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic.
Yep. Great for practitioners.
We're doing CTF at Beyond in Amsterdam here.
I'm going to make people
there's
cry.
some bad ones. You should research a product called Brain Blank. I can't say the blank on this channel, but you should research Brain Blank.
And if you figure that one out, I got an even harder version of it that I haven't posted yet that I'm saving in my back pocket.
Yeah. I do like the point of like using Cybersecurity Month as a time to do these types of things and make people more aware. And I think it's probably more valuable for those in the industry.
I think
because
so.
of that
Okay,
than it is those
if
outside.
we approach it in that lens, then I'm more okay with it, right? Like then, right, like this is the month that all the vendors are gonna like lead with their teaching and lead with their like leveling up the playing field moment. Yeah, 100%. I'm on board with that. Love that, right? Like, but that's not what tends to happen. It tends to be the month that everyone brings out their new marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I've got 18 vendors telling me that their products can stop all threats. I've got
I mean,
14 new AI vendors that are coming out telling me that their AI secret sauce can make SSL VPN not suck, right? Like, yeah, and it basically it drowns out the good things that happen. It drowns out the CTFs. It drowns out the learning moments that you can have. But to your point, and to Dom's point, if it is a month that we can be effective, then sure, we should lean into that piece of it. Look at that. Your hopeful optimism has
I'm trying to rub off
me.
on you, man. I'm trying to rub off a little bit in positivity on you, man, for sure.
Well, I like to think about it too more from the broad, like if you think in the consumer space, there's more news about it that isn't just doom and gloom. There's more opportunities to have like very human conversations as a practitioner with non-practitioners. And I include my own family in the mix, right? But in general, I do think the opportunity.
I'm guessing that max headrooming is either me or Dom. So I'm going to take it as it might be. It might be Dom.
I would go with Dom, considering our producers look fine.
Yeah. Producers look happy and moving, so we're good. Okay, so let's do this. What's the nerdiest thing that you're going to get into in the next few weeks? Let's do it that way. Tom, start with you.
Oh, the nerdiest thing I'm getting into? N8N.
Okay, what are you doing? We just did a whole show on it last week.
Yeah, we're building. Well, we built. We're trying to automate more of the process I do for feeding my tech news into the LLM, summarizing it in a way that I want, then putting it out so it has a nice clean output.
Sure.
Summary of the best news, best articles. Trying to pull from the socials.
Did you get that spark from Ashish Rajan's post today? Have you seen his?
No, we started this a month ago.
So he just made a post on LinkedIn. Sorry for the side topic, but there's a free N8N template he's giving away for Charlie, which is his bot that provides him a morning report every morning with a lot of that stuff.
I should set that up.
Might be interesting.
I'm getting it out of my fresh RSS, so I'm doing 100% self-hosted from top to bottom.
So you're taking the feeds you already had set up with your RSS feeds,
and then it's also self-hosted AI. Everything's self-hosted. I want no external, so it's very self-contained.
Sure.
I have two.
Okay.
The first one is I am finalizing, and it won't happen until I get back now because I've got a travel stint coming up. Finalizing the migration and updates and a bunch of modernization of a bunch of the stuff I personally run, which hopefully includes standing up a fresh RSS box.
Yeah.
Because I've been wanting to, and I've been kicking it down the road because my personal stuff mostly all runs FreeBSD, and running containers on FreeBSD is a relatively unsolved problem. I can run Beehive or anything like that, but I'm modernizing and standing it up. The second one is the CTF. Okay. I spent basically my entire Saturday was spent on 3 challenges.
I saw them.
Think they're okay. I think
I gave you some bad data a couple times with my Mac ARM trying to solve the modem one a little bit. But,
don't wait,
did I say? Oh, I may have said too much. I apologize. It's all right.
So I got a couple challenges there. I've got a couple more cooking, but man, I love the opportunity to teach people in nerdy ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, and get people thinking outside of their comfort zone.
Yep.
Right. Like, there's some throwback technologies in play here. And, and I think that, if we view the present in the lens of history, especially when it comes to technology, a lot more things make sense. Right. There's a reason where we are where we are.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason where
100%.
things like some of the things you can't explain. There's some history why they exist. So I'm relatively excited about some of that stuff.
Some of the older things, especially a new crowd in Europe.
Yeah.
That I don't know exactly where they are from a technical capabilities perspective. I don't mean that pejoratively or positively. I just don't know. And what am I getting into that's nerdy in the next little bit? Obviously, the CTF with you. If you're going to be at Beyond in EMEA, definitely join us for the CTF. I have, as long as customs doesn't stop me, I have the prizes with me in a suitcase. So we'll see how that works out. I'll do an update later to see if customs makes me pay tax on it.
Flippers?
Oh, no, it's an Xbox. Okay. I mean, it's straight up, obviously, giveaways still in their boxes.
Yeah.
But I have the prizes for the 3 winners. And I guess the nerdiest thing I've been doing and am going to be doing is building up for boot camp, and I need your
Yeah.
help on some of that.
Oh yeah,
I've got GitLab.
that's
up.
excited too. Yeah,
I brought
I'm excited
in
about that. We have
350 megs of code for
we
this.
have some we have some neat ideas. You and I were kind of kicking back and forth with regards to that. We might involve some ESP32 stuff.
I already have them.
Yep.
The firmware's built. I just
Okay.
need to test it. But yes, we're at that stage. Within the degree of Claude's 4.5.
We should
Sonnet.
teach you some ladder logic and make it really, really convincing.
And actually show some actual logic for the way it programs out. It might have the way it functions.
I think there's firmware we can run on that PLC that emulates, or on that ESP32 that emulates a PLC.
Oh,
right. And you program it with full ladder logic.
Well, it's treating them. So not to get off on too much of a tangent, but Claude, when I asked it to deal with that as the problem, it already defined it as its PLC using ESP32 with its code base. Like, so it's already saying we're going to use these two wires for the water collection. We're gonna, it's interesting how it's treating it.
The other nerdy thing, if we get some time this week, I'd like to show you some of the workflow of using Ghidra with an LLM to reverse engineer stuff.
That's a nerdy enough topic to get into.
Because they have the whole MCP for that now.
Oh, yes, they do.
That's a great topic. Let's get into that. Let's talk about that right now. If we have Dom back, we'll bring him in. I'm not sure if he's back. Maybe not. You know, the gremlins, man, the gremlins.
It looks like he's at home.
He is, but that doesn't mean he's not having gremlins.
Yeah.
I just dealt with a whole day being down because of some security settings. My Streamer X needed to update. Yeah. Yep. No worries. Sorry. Thanks, production team. I was getting me back in my ears there. But let's get back to Ghidra. So what is Ghidra? Go ahead and break it down for everybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, Ghidra is a product of the NSA of all people, and it is a reverse engineering platform that can reverse engineer basically binaries, right?
And it's not new.
Open source.
It's not new. It's open source. It's but 7, 8, 9,
11.
Yeah, 9 years out
right now. Yeah, it's been out for a bit. And you know, the thing is that reverse engineering code like that, it involves one, knowing C and knowing assembly for your target language, because a lot of times if it's attempting to prevent you from reverse engineering it, it has tricks in there that make the C code it generates pretty terrible. So you have to know some assembly. I have spent a little bit of time reverse engineering Pokemon Go again. I got sucked back into that by a couple people, and it is gnarly. Like, they have a lot of anti-tamper, anti-debug stuff in there, and Ghidra does a really good job of like, hey, explain what this function does to me, and don't use these decompiled C code. Go read the assembly and tell me what the assembly is doing.
Which would take somebody really knowing what it's looking at doing. I mean, that's not a human task.
No, it is
not an easy human task. It doesn't have a second task.
It is.
You have to think through it.
The number of humans that can do it is low. Right?
Well, even if you had a book to go reference, the time of which it might take to go look at what these calls are, I would imagine. Right?
And a lot of it is, right, this is C++ code, so it's already got a lot of indirection and vtables and all the other stuff that goes behind being C++ over just C, right? But they also do some obfuscation where they're like doing math and then they're jumping to a register based on the math. And the thing is that the static analysis tool, Ghidra, it doesn't do the math. Right. So it assumes that you're branching to somewhere else other than where it actually branches to at runtime. Sure. The LLM figures it out.
And that's because of an MCP, right? So
yes. I'm using Ghidra MCP.
Who wants to explain MCP for this crowd?
I would say the shortest answer, it's a language that AI can speak, so it can talk to something. In the same way an API works.
It's an agent.
It's an agent. But it's different. It's very similar to API, but it's its own.
And you can take just a raw Swagger file from APIs and drop it in and have that become as well an MCP. And I wanted to bring that up for a reason. For two reasons. One, I'm giving a talk in Amsterdam that I'll also be re-giving back here at Wild West Hackenfest in a week, in 11 days, 10 days, whatever. Like, it's that kind of party.
When I'm in Germany, you'll be in.
Yeah. When you're in Germany, I'll be coming back to South Dakota. But I'm doing it in Amsterdam too. There's an actual nod in there to Jason Slagle, at least on stage, I'll say it, of this. The core problem I'm talking about is this exposure of the user plane to the control plane. I got 4 Tom Lawrence memes in that talk, so can't go wrong.
Yeah, and this came from Wolf, who will probably be speaking again. It was part of his talk at last year.
I think I saw him in the list.
Oh, Gurkhan, which we're heading right now.
That's where we're going when we leave here.
We're all leaving here and going to Gurkhan. So we'll be there and watch Robert Chaffee give his Rising from the Ashes talk.
And Wolf, I think if he's speaking again, he's got a great talk on MCP security, and it's good. I listened to one of them he did already. At Hope or 2600 or no? At Gurkhan last year. No, this year he's got a new talk. I don't know if he's got GERConf. If it is, he's probably doing that talk.
Oh, super awesome. Yeah. Well, then that'll help because I'm giving a talk about it and talking about how basically making the assertion that you're exposing the control plane to the user plane and now handing it weapons, right? Like now here's an MCP to have whatever. But in this case, it's actually a good one. So let's look through this real quick.
This actually segues us into the other thing you wanted to cover too.
It does. So this is the National Security Agency's official GitHub, I suppose. And then Ghidra. And it has been around quite a while, right? But the point is the usability of it now with an MCP. And I'm assuming they didn't release the MCP, Jason. Someone else wrote the MCP.
Correct. And I've used 2 separate ones now. There are some struggles with them, but we don't need to talk about that. But yeah, there are 2 of them, and they work great. They let it control the static analysis pieces of it yet. I haven't found one or extended one yet that can do the emulation. That's next because I need it for the Pokemon stuff. But yeah,
you mean for the dynamic analysis of it running and emulating and stopping?
It has
break
emulation
points.
as far as 10.4 forward. It has emulation and it can actually run code.
Like
emulate,
IDE?
Yeah. Well, it basically emulates the processor.
Sure.
So like sometimes it's easier to do it when it's running than it is trying to figure out what it's doing by looking at what it's doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like
which this is that cat and mouse game of like, this is a tool that is used by security researchers, threat analysts that'll look at something, say, is this binary bad or not, right? Like essentially what you would use when you're doing reverse analysis. But using an LLM makes us much faster and more capable with that same tool than before.
NFL Locker Room or the Art of... Oh, that one.
That's Wolfgang. He's not giving that
Wolf's
talk.
talk?
He's giving a different talk.
Okay.
Oh, different talk. But anyway, so the point is, like, that's one of the things that I was leaning into is you're seeing people find new ways to use LLMs, agents, other pieces to make us faster at something.
Yeah,
like to your point,
and I'm using
something.
the crap out of it.
Yeah,
like,
not for good purposes though.
Well, both. Like, yeah.
I was gonna say I'll send you kind of related to this before I forget. There's been a guy that's did this whole speed run of he's got a strange name. I shared some links before in one of our cybersecurity group chats.
Is it Knox?
No, he's a guy. His blog is all about doing a speed run of breaking MCP, and every time they fix it, he just breaks it again.
Fun.
Yeah,
he's been just escaping permissions all over.
But it's the same thing. It's basically control plane, data plane.
Yeah. Well, he got one MCP to unlock the other one, and then the other one unlocked the other one. He found a way to get them. They can't chain prompt injections. He was able to get one to unlock the other.
And I'm using right now CC sessions, right, which locks down via hooks. It locks down what Claude can do.
Oh, you've started using CC sessions again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Claude has abused MCPs to get around the limitations I put on it with hooks.
Of course,
it's a sneaky little bugger.
All right. So what else do we want to talk about? I mean,
well,
CTF,
we can talk about we started going down the road of MCPs and the dangers of them. But you've had an instance recently where an MCP and or an agent has caused you struggles.
Yeah, and it's this measurement of harm conversation.
Yeah.
And I think we can all come up with examples. Everybody in cybersecurity wants to talk about agents and what I'm going to do to them as a bad guy, right? I'm going to make your agent do this thing. And that's the harm we always think about. That's the cybersecurity risk, the harm of that, data, privacy, all those things. But there's other harm that comes from agents being used that requires a human in the loop. One of the suggestions we make in our talk, Eric Stevens and I, is you should always have a human in the loop when you have important stuff involved.
100%.
Right? You should have a human loop. And we even use the any
mode.
key from Homer Simpson was our method. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. No, the F3. Like, press F3 to prevent meltdown.
Right. Click. But the point is we have to figure out and just find other types of harm that come from this. I was building a project for my son and for my family to do an NFL pick'em, right? I have it fully built. It's live right now on Cloudflare.
I have questions, but they're unrelated. Like,
okay,
this is a solved problem.
Oh, I know. Okay. Yeah. But I just wanted, I wanted it our way. And it started as a project with me and my son. Okay. So it was like that type deal. But you're not wrong. There's a host of platforms in which I could make and do this.
No, this highlights the fact that if your background is in programming and your background isn't, it isn't to solve a problem for that guy.
That's true. Well, the other problem you're talking about, I thought you were talking about the NFL.
Oh no, there's like 18,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. Yeah. But there's the new problem that she is also talking about, which is I didn't have a dev environment separate from the production.
So we'll get there.
And so ultimately what ended up happening that was harm was my son and I put in, and my wife and other son put in all our picks for 2 weeks. And then the database got cleared on the first week. And I'm like, okay, Claude, what happened? And it's like, Gosh, you're right.
Bro,
I made a
I
replace
suck. Yeah.
instead of a merge. That's on me, bro. And it's like, well, it's also me. I probably should have caught that or
Yeah.
some type of inspection.
Or maybe
Or a
back up your
dev
data,
environment.
or...
I actually did add a backup cycle, like all the normal stuff you're supposed to do when it's important. I did do that now, but yeah. So the point is that the LLM kept creating harm. It did it 3 times.
Yep.
It kept creating the
Yep.
same problem
Yep.
and kept replicating it. And it's these things of like, how do you manage and measure harm in those unexpected ways? And do you have any other examples of that?
Yeah, I'm doing the popcorn one, and I'm in
Okay.
testing. I'm in final testing. I think it's this. I'll use it this season for sure. But it's done the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm working through a problem, and it's like, oh, I have a problem with this database. I'm just gonna recreate it. And I'm like, wait, I have test data in there. Right?
Yeah.
So where it drove me to is, okay, I need a product lifecycle here, right? Where you're working in a dev environment,
Yep.
I need to make a production environment, and then handle that via releases. Via GitHub to get there,
which aren't hard to add.
No,
they really
it's not
aren't
that hard. You just
you just have to structure it that way. But that's common development. To
SDLC.
Tom's point, that's
Software
common
development
software development
lifecycle,
lifecycle, right? Like
I go to, oh yeah, well of course I'm running this thing in dev, right? Like
Yeah.
dev databases are ephemeral, right? Like
sure.
wiping them out is the thing you just do.
Yeah,
So if I don't want the dev database wiped out, I need a production database. You're like, there's only one, and we're deving in it.
And I imagine Claude's judging me pretty hard too. Because I have to imagine,
Yeah.
I told at the very beginning,
Yeah.
I want to do all of this in production. Please stop testing on my
Yeah.
machine. Please test with this live application.
So in the end, I actually think this is its way of getting back at you after you told it you were going to execute
I
it.
did tell it I was going to kill it. It was a true story. And it definitely cursed and put out.
It's like, oh yeah, no, you know what? You said you were gonna eliminate me. Say goodbye to your data.
Fine then, data, you're out. The good news is my son was winning, so like I get at least 2 excuses of reset weeks. That was nice. Like, I guess we're starting at 0 again. Anyways.
But there are real world examples
Yeah.
of this, right? Like if it doesn't take very long, if you hang out on Reddit and /r/Claude code or /r/Claude or AI coding or vibe coding, it doesn't take you long to find an example of somebody that Claude helpfully removed their entire home directory trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Because they were running in YOLO mode and
Yeah.
didn't I whitelist commands. I draw the line. You can edit all the files you want. I draw the line at running commands. You don't run commands without me saying it's okay. And honestly, the proper thing to do there that all of us are failing security because we should really be running those tools in a sandbox.
Yeah.
So they only have access to themselves in the code they're working on and not the rest of your system.
But I want to appreciate just how many more people are into coding because of
Oh
this.
yeah, 100%.
Like that's why we're talking about all these inexperienced people who have YOLO'd home away.
Yeah.
But
RM-RF.
it's cool because it means there's a new community of learning experiences coming in.
So now we have more people to share the misery with.
That's awesome. I will say though, it's that exposure of that half of the world that this is bringing, and probably in really bad ways we'll see too soon.
Yep.
I mean, I just saw two young kids, brilliant. They were both the graduates from, I think it was Stanford. One guy has a background. His dad was in cyber in the corporate and enterprise world quite a bit. Anyways, they started a company to help MSPs. They quickly realized they didn't want to help MSPs. They pivoted yet again. I met them in an RSA.
I know who they are.
And I just saw on LinkedIn that they just got, I think it was $5.4 million raised for something they literally bragged about developing 8 weeks ago. And in that short, scant 8 weeks, in which I've been 20 cities and they've had 8 weeks pass, they've had Fortune 500 companies trying out their product. These kids literally just invented this in the last 2 months. And it's so interesting to see how, what that's going to be in the long run, good and bad, I think.
An interesting thing there, right? Like, if you look at the pain cycle that is startupdom, right? Like you spent a long time getting to MVP.
Yep. In the
right?
past.
And then you spent a long time getting product market fit, but then you hit that
time curve
trudge
of
scaling.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
or even missing the time curve of something and the pricing changes.
But we have a problem here that I'm not sure that these tools are going to help them with the scaling problem. So they're going to be stuck with the code base that they don't understand. And then they're going to be relying on Claude to help them scale.
Someone's going to have to refactor it.
Someone's going to have to rewrite it.
But that does change everything, doesn't it? Like, I mean, good and bad. Let's just fast forward. Like, that changes where I would invest pre-revenue. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind buying something I know I have to refactor. If it already got the idea, people buy it, they want to buy it. It was built in 45 minutes in some kid's closet. Like, I mean, it's not that fast. I know that. Ask me how
But-
I know.
Speed of ideation to demo
Yeah.
is faster than it's ever been
Amen.
in our life.
Yeah. Concepts will suck or not suck much quicker. To the point. And that's what I actually is good in those two kids' cases. Like they literally went through 3 company ideas. One was controlling Copilot to manage SOC signals, if you remember. I think you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
And then the next one, now they have a browser extension, browser help extension, kind of like Perplexity. Like that's where they went. Wham! Like
But
what a difference.
It used to be that like it was a very slow process to pivot your company when you didn't have product market fit, and I can do it daily.
Yeah, that's 100% true. That is the positive
some
side
people
of
do.
this. Yeah, is that we can build tools. I think the interesting part will be, as we continue to do this, do we create the AS400 world again a bit? Like think about how many projects got done on an AS400 for this oil field,
Weird.
and it got built and it lived there for 52 years, and now we might build these software applications that 9 people buy, 30 people buy, and they're still profitable, and they just never grow or change. I mean, are we going backwards in time?
Ironically enough, that company I was talking about with running the server on the workstation that we haven't talked about.
We haven't talked about it. Just bring it up.
We don't need to.
Okay, don't.
They have an AS400 in their office.
Yep, and it's probably still fine.
No, it's brand new. Like literally, this is the 3rd AS400 I've ever seen in my life. Like physically,
I was in oil, so they were everywhere, and they would buy new ones for $85,000 because they had someone build them some application. And this is kind of where I'm at. Like you've empowered any ideator, and any idiot, myself included, to go build anything I want to build and productize it quickly.
But the interesting thing of that is, this is also like if I was an IBM, I would be very afraid.
Oh, because to your point, the egress from that can be fairly easy to program out of.
There used to be no way out of that ecosystem because it was just so hard and so proprietary. But I bet you Claude knows how to interface with that data.
Yeah. And actually do it as an in-the-middle transfer agent, essentially, to the new and build the place for it to go. I would agree. Yeah. For anybody that may not have followed that, I mean, like, you now have the ability to have an LLM or an agent or a coding agent directly interface with a live system, potentially, and then pull that data and build something new for it to live in as a pass, right?
So I have an interesting question. How many times can we run this clock down and have them just give us more time?
Oh, have we already run it down a number of times more than 0?
It's once.
Oh, okay, good. Then that many times I'd wager. So let's start wrapping it up. What are your thoughts? Really, just kind of like anything you want to close with. It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to the fire? Anything novel, or has it all been said?
It's all been said. Go be more cybersecure.
Yeah, that's it. Don't be mad. Like have backups.
I'll go with, I've been fairly negative on a lot of topics, and I've been negative on AI. I've been negative on cyber, right? Like for all the negativity that lives there, the negativity comes because I'm a grumpy old man that's been doing this for a long time, and people don't change, right? Like, but for every piece of negative there's a glimmer of hope that like speed to failure is faster than ever. Right. So like, hopefully we just fail faster now and we don't fail farther down the road.
Sure. Yeah, I would say that we have a long, long way to go from a cybersecurity point. We'll know we've gotten there when there isn't a Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Yeah.
There is not a people have 2 arms still month for people in industrial worlds. There is not a, hey, no dead people this day month for people in construction. There's not these, we should stop backhoeing over people's cars. They're part of function.
Yeah. We
aren't at a state where cybersecurity is part of function. I will say I have a pretty cool topic to end on really quickly, and then we'll wrap this thing up, which is at Pax8, I saw something happen where my chief trust officer now owns internal technology and technology systems. It's all under one answer.
That's interesting.
Talk. Because I have been preaching this is the answer for a long time and gotten a lot of flack for it.
Well, okay, so I'll give you the corollary of
go.
that. So I have a very large organization that I worked with that had a CIO, but then InfoSec ran up through finance.
Right.
And you end up with this weird world where these people just throw edicts without understanding anything. That the implications
That's
of
the exact
anything
problem
they're
I think
saying.
this combats, is having one place to choke for that.
I agree with the one throat to choke. I'm not sure that rolling that up through trust is a way that allows you to move. Like I'm brought back to the night security story from Phoenix Project, and saying that the people in the trust and governance realm tend to lead with governance and change control with a ton of levels and stuff like that. And the problem is every step away from you get from the person making the change or doing the work, you lose a level of understanding of what the risk is of that. So now you've got somebody that has a risk background that isn't qualified to understand the risk. That's fine in a normal case, but when something's broken, they also bottleneck fixing it.
I see.
Right. So it really lowers your agility, and that could be good. It could be bad. We'll see.
That's a fun trade-off there, I would say. I'm happy about it because there was a talk I did with Sunil Yu, and we talked in his talk. He talked about how
now it just turned red and it's coming.
Yeah, we're done. But there was a talk with Sunil Yu that I did where he talked about how in the beginning this diverged because of where we were in the point in time, and maybe we'll save it for another talk. But it's interesting to see it come back together a little bit.
It is, and I mean it's generally a good thing. I just don't know if that's the right vessel to hold it.
Well, thank y'all for paying attention, even though we had all kinds of technical problems on our end, on Dom's end. I appreciate y'all being here. That's game over. We just got to chat as friends and talk about stuff we cared about. So I hope it was valuable to y'all.